So thank you for jumping on the call tonight. It is June 1st already, you guys. That's crazy. Wednesday, June 1st of 2016. I am Corey Mayo. I am your Star Diamond upline and the founder of Team Living Healthy and Fit. Tonight, I have a couple things I want to talk with you about social media and sharing your story through social media. But before we get to that, we have some shout outs. So big congratulations to Lori Vakulik-Smith for enrolling a coach this past month. That's really awesome. Congratulations, Lori. And a big congratulations to Marguerite. Marguerite was at Success Club 2 last Wednesday and was feeling a little deflated and had been hearing a lot of no's and really just put her nose to the grindstone and said, I'm hitting Success Club 5, and she did at 10:30 p.m. last night. She did not give up the very last day. So until midnight, you guys, it is not over. She hit Success Club 5, which qualifies her for her second month of Success Starters. And she is going to qualify this month, I have no doubt, and earn her free ticket to Summit. So I'm super excited for her. That's proof that you can't give up. You have to keep inviting. You have to keep building those relationships. You have to keep sharing and being consistent, and it will pay off. So congratulations, girl. A lot of welcomes to our team this month. Lots of big things going on. So we have Christy and Alicia, Allison, and Mary Bradley, 4 new members of our team like in the last 10 days, which is pretty amazing, you guys. That's awesome. I love seeing all these new faces because that means we are impacting more people's lives, and all of us, as we get bigger, that means that we're branching out and we're able to help even more people to get on a healthier path, and we're sharing more inspiration with the world. So, which is my end all be all, because there's too much hate and negativity in the world. So the more that we can touch and inspire lives, the happier I become, and I think the happier everybody in the world becomes, and everybody at least on our team is. So that's definitely my goal. So I'm excited for that to be going on. And I'm just going to go ahead and jump into the call. I do not have a slideshow for tonight. Basically, what I want to talk with you a little bit about is sharing on social media, since we do have so many new coaches, to help you share in a positive way without coming off as a salesperson or feel like you're being kind of slimy and greasy or pitching people all the time, because there is definitely a fine balance in sharing your story and getting things across effectively, but also not being so discreet that people actually know what you're doing. Because we are still running a business here, even though we don't want to be putting our links out there and like pitching people all the time. We also don't want people that are following us to think that we're just posting things to be inspirational. I was on a leadership call recently, and one of the leading coaches on Meg's team, she's a 5-star diamond, her name is Brittany, shared that one of her coaches had been sharing and being consistent, sharing on social media and putting her story out there, but wasn't branching out and actually inviting people personally. And she was getting really discouraged because a lot of her closest friends were actually purchasing the products from other coaches, and she just like could not figure out why. Well, one, she wasn't inviting on a personal level. So that's a big no-no if you really want to grow your business and reach out to people. But the second reason is she never opened herself up for business. She never actually put out there on social media that she is a coach or that she is inviting people to join her on this journey. So we have to remember that there is a balance there, that we don't want to be so discreet that people don't understand what we're doing, okay? So you want to think about your social media as a blog. You want to think about what interests you, who are the people that you're targeting, and the people that you're talking to on a regular basis, what are they interested in? Because we need to be interesting enough that people are following us, but it is more important for us to be interested in learning about other people, because other people love to talk about themselves. they don't really care about what you're doing. They just want to know, is it going to help them or benefit them in some way? Okay. Everybody's got selfishness in them. We all are out for our number one, right? So you have to be interested in what your followers need. What are they looking for? What encourages them? What gets them engaging on posts? And think about those different things so that you can get the engagement on your social media. Okay. So sharing on social media, you want to think of things that are of interest to you, because typically the person you're going to be talking to is going to be the person who you are. I was just talking with Alicia on her Getting Started Right. I'm not pitching to guys. I'm not talking to guys. Typically when you see me inviting or making a post on Facebook, it says, hey girl, or girls, or I'm looking for mommies, or something like that, because I can help a guy, but that's not my target market. That's not who I'm really going to resonate with and relate to share my journey with. And the same thing for you girls. You want to talk to that person who you are, where you've been, and where you're going. Okay? So I encourage you to sit down and make a list of who was a person that you used to be. Like, what did you feel like when you first started this journey? Before you got started, how did you feel about yourself? What were the thoughts that went through your head? How are you feeling now? Are you excited because you're starting this new journey? You're excited that you're doing something to take your health into your own hands, to take control of your life? And where are you going? You might not be where you want to be yet, but you're taking steps there every single day, and that's real. That's what inspires people. It's not okay, she started here and she went here and she's super successful, it was easy for her. No. What's relatable is your journey and getting there. So many times people look at somebody and say, oh, well, she's making 6 figures now and she's super successful. She did, something was easy for her. She got lucky. No, that girl freaking made sacrifices and grinded to make that happen. So share that with people, what you're doing. And you might have a struggle and say, look, like I struggled with my food this week, or I struggled with keeping on track on talking with people or something like that, but I'm going to get back on track with that, and I'm going to do this. So it's okay to share that you're having struggles, but make sure you're providing the solutions so that it's not that you're just sharing the negativity or that you're just venting on Facebook. If you think, I wonder if I should be putting this on Facebook, you probably shouldn't be, okay? So you have to remember all those things as you're posting on social media. And then developing your story. So it is so important to be sharing your story at least once a week. And your story is going to change because you're going through this journey and you're constantly going to be growing and changing. But people need to know who you are. People need to be able to relate to who you are. So sharing your story of where you were, where you are, and where you're going is going to be something that you want to make a priority each week. So that could be like how you used to feel in high school. Like for me, I always tried to fit in. I always picked at myself because I wasn't perfect. I wasn't in the in crowd. I wasn't pretty. And I used to starve myself when I was in high school because I've always been a thicker girl. I was never skinny. Okay. I've never been skinny. And then I put on a lot of weight after I met my husband. And then, it's kind of been this yo-yo thing back and forth my entire life. So share that with people. What is your story and what are you doing and where are you going with it? Does that make sense? Am I making sense or am I just rambling? Yeah? Okay. So you want to make sure that you share your story, and you can share different pieces of your story. Like I can go back to when I was in high school. I can go back to when my husband and I first met. I can go to when right before we got married. I can go to when we had our first baby and how I felt after that. I can then go to how I felt, the struggles that were different after having lost all the weight after my first and then getting pregnant with my second, and the struggle of gaining the weight and not feeling my healthiest, not feeling my best, and then losing the weight again after him. So there's so many different pieces to all of our stories. So you don't have to share the entire thing that becomes this book and nobody's going to read it because it's way too long. Try to dial it in, share an overall of your story every now and then, like once a month, and then take pieces the rest of the weeks and really hone in. And do not, please do not be afraid to repeat yourself and use posts that you had posted before, because the way that Facebook works is it's going to change who's seeing your post and what time of day you're posting it and your friends that are seeing it. So just because you've posted it before doesn't mean that the same people are going to see it again. Okay? So developing your story. So that's one action item that I am going to ask all of you to do over the next couple of days. Let's say by Saturday. Well, let's say it's Wednesday. Yeah, let's say by Saturday or Sunday at the latest, that you sit down and write your story or make a list of your story. So who you are or who you were, how you felt before you started this, how you feel now, and what your goals are and where you're going, where you want to be. And then you can shoot that to me in a private message on Facebook, and then together we can kind of revamp it and look over what you can talk about. Maybe I thought of something that I know about you that you can share about as well. But don't be afraid to share that with people. The more you share your personal things, I know it's scary and it makes you vulnerable, but the more you share your personal things, the more you become real to people. Okay? Okay. So then the last thing I'm going to talk about before we do screen share and dive onto Facebook a little bit is jabs and hooks, the difference between the two. If you have not yet heard of Jab, 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 Right Hook by Gary Vaynerchuk, I strongly encourage you to check that book out or listen to the audio. If I don't know that there's an audio available of that, because I think I looked. I actually read the book. And it's super thin, just a small little paperback book. But he teaches you how to give jabs. So a jab would be, today I made a post. The best part about this job is sending gifts to people. That's a jab. Like, I love my job because I get to do this. Okay? I'm not inviting them to join me. I'm not pitching them on anything. I'm just giving a jab. Like, this is awesome because I get to do this. Last week, I got to go to Keyston's last day of school and go to his party. Number like 3,569 or whatever, that I love my job because I get to go to my son's school activities and be present in the moment with him at this age. Things like that. Those are jabs. You're putting it out there that you're doing it, but you're not pitching them or inviting them to join you in the opportunity. Other examples of jabs would be sharing recipes, providing value to people and giving them something that they can process and use without pitching them. A hook is going to be when you say, I'm looking for 5 women who are sick and tired of being sick and tired and are ready to make changes in their nutrition and fitness. Something like that, where you're actually inviting them to join you in a challenge group or the coaching opportunity. So that's a hook. You only want to sprinkle those in every now and then. The majority of your posting on social media should be jabs. It should be sharing valuable information to people, and it should be little sprinkles of why you love doing what you do, sharing how a challenger is doing. Those are all jabs. And then actually inviting and using a hook post 3 to 4 times a week, okay? So for those of you who are just starting out, I try to post 5 times a day on my personal page of Facebook. My business page, I post twice a day because that's what I can balance right now. If you've only been posting on Facebook like once every couple days, then I encourage you to start with posting once a day, every day. At least one post every single day. And then slowly build that up so that you're getting 2 posts, and then you get 3 posts. Really ideally, to be successful and really build up your infinity in Facebook, and infinity means that just because you have 1,000 friends doesn't mean 1,000 friends are going to see your post, okay? You might only get 1% of those people to see your posts. The more you post and the more people engage on your posts, the more you get into infinity and the more people are going to see your things, Okay, does that make sense? So it's something that you want to build that engagement on your Facebook or on your Instagram. Instagram's a little bit different, but on your social media, you want to build your engagement and your consistency. So really ideally, a minimum of 3 times per day once you get comfortable and find the balance in posting every day is a good number. And we'll talk about in a minute here the different things that you can post about for those multiple posts throughout the day, because it's not always going to be about Beachbody. It's not always going to be about nutrition. If it is, you're going to burn your people out, and they're going to be like, well, she's only talking about these things. I don't want to see her anymore. Okay, so you have to sprinkle you in there as well. So that's the difference between jabs and hooks. Things that you can post about. Obviously, we want to post about fitness and health things because we're health and fitness coaches, right? So that would make sense. We don't want to post about Starbucks and donuts constantly and every day and multiple times a day or whatever, or pizza and ice cream or beer all the time. We want to make sure we're posting health and fitness tips or motivation and things like that. We want to be posting about nutrition. Ideally, what you're eating, maybe a recipe that you found, something that you have tried. And then you want to pick 7 to 10 things that are you. Like, make a list of 7 to 10 things that make you who you are and sprinkle those throughout too. So you should be making, if you're making 3 to 5 posts a day, at least one of those, ideally 2 if you're doing 5 posts, would be about your nutrition and fitness. Okay. Then the other ones you can sprinkle in. Like for me, I like to share an inspirational quote every single morning. That's the first thing that happens on my social media, is to wake up and inspire people, okay? And then usually in the morning, it's something like what I'm doing, or maybe a recipe on certain days. Then at lunchtime, it's usually either the opposite. So usually something I'm doing with my kids or something that's happening right now. Early afternoon is normally post-workout, what we did for the day type of a post, and usually my evening, because evenings on Facebook for me tend to be the best time to make hook posts. So that's typically when I'm making either my challenge group post or my coaching opportunity post, my story, my transformation, or sharing somebody else's transformation. And then Fridays are fun nights. So that kind of tells you, Monday night, my hook post is a challenge group, because usually Mondays people feel like shit because they ate like crap over the weekend and they're kicking themselves in the butt for doing it and they feel like poop. So Sundays and Monday nights are usually perfect for challenge group inviting posts. Tuesday night, I do a transformation Tuesday. So it's either my transformation and something about me, or my husband or somebody else on our team. Wednesday night, I share my story. Thursday night is a coaching opportunity post where I'm actually inviting them to join the coaching opportunity, because Thursday is payday and the majority of the population is living paycheck to paycheck and is pissed that their paycheck is gone the day that it arrives. So that's a good opportunity to relate to people there. And then Friday is usually a date night, something about my family, because they are a big part of my life. So that kind of gives you an idea, and you don't have to follow them. There are some examples in our group in the files tab of different things that you can post about, but that kind of gives you an idea of the hook post. I encourage you to start paying attention to your social media. When are people engaging? If you are or you're going to be a stay-at-home mom, and the majority of your target market are stay-at-home moms, you might get better time with a hook post at like 11, like early, like mid-morning or early afternoon when children are napping and moms actually have a moment to sit down and look at their Facebook. They might not have a moment in the evenings because, you know, they're trying to get things ready for the next day, or laundry, or falling asleep because they're a stay-at-home mom and they're exhausted from chasing the kids all day. So pay attention. Pay attention to what people are engaging on. Donna, I'm going to shout you out and give you a little bit of a spotlight here. Donna is amazing with makeup and shares that with people, and shares that very well. That gets a lot of engagement with her target market because she knows a lot about makeup. So it's smart for her to say, hey, if I made this video about how to use this makeup, or if I were to show you how to use this makeup, or she does like my favorite way to do eyebrows, like things like that get people engaging on her posts, and she's not pitching them. She's just getting engagement and providing value to her followers. Okay, that makes sense? So do we have any questions while I can see all of your faces? No? No? Okay. I'm going to go to screen share. Before I do that, who's going to raise their hand and let me pick at their, use examples of their social media? Donna and Marguerite, all right. Karina, I see you. Okay, so we'll do that. So I'm going to go over, and I'm just going to do constructive criticism and show you guys what will help and what maybe isn't going to help so much, okay? All right, so Donna, not Donald Trump. We don't want Donald Trump, we want Donna. Okay, so this is lovely Donna's Facebook page, and she's done a really good job. I think we recently did a call on this, and so she's done a really great job. So Donna has a beautiful picture of herself. She's smiling. It makes her relatable because people can see her face, especially when she's adding new friends, or if she's using her Instagram account and people are coming over and looking her up on Facebook to connect with her. She has a very pretty clear picture of who she is. As much as we love our children and things like that, we don't want our profile picture to be of our children or our dog or something like that, because people are going to look at that picture and that's how they relate to you. So you want to have a nice picture, ideally of you smiling there. The cover photo is great. This is where she lives. I think she took this out of her new apartment and in Boston, and just really loves the area. So it's a great picture. You'll see that she has intro. She's a health and fitness coach. She's vegan enthusiast, a makeup guru, and a selfie queen. So that is giving you a little bit of what you're going to get when you come to her page and who she is. I love that. And then this little section here, you can now do featured photos. So she's featuring, you know, herself and who she is. She's got her vegan friendly information here. She's the selfie queen, so she has 3 selfies. But she's showing a little bit of workout gear and what she's doing, okay? So you can actually select and pin those photos. So it looks like about 8 hours ago she posted this. I will say this. She shared this from Instagram, and the reason I know that is because it says Instagram here, okay? So I would not encourage that, just because it's not going to get as much feedback in the Facebook world if you share it from Instagram versus if she were to have just went to Facebook and made the same exact post. It's going to get more feedback and more infinity than if you share it from another social media platform, okay? So that's one thing. It's a beautiful picture though. So I'm just going to read this really quick. So this is a good post. It didn't get a whole lot of interaction. So maybe something I would have done, Donna, is maybe ask a question first, like who's ready to get back on track, rather than putting it down here where they're maybe not going to see it right away. Maybe I would have put that up here in the first sentence, so that's the first thing that people see. But I mean, that's a good post. It's just, it didn't, you know, it's a prime example. And probably one of the reasons this happened is something that I encourage you to do is, like, I would have taken a photo of this, like copied just one photo, made it a picture, and then said for, like at the bottom here, I would have said for Meal Prep 101 tips, check out the link posted in the comments below. what you'll find is when you're sharing from other platforms, kind of like the Instagram, sharing directly from Instagram, when you're sharing videos from YouTube or links from other platforms, Facebook kills it and then nobody sees it. So it might have been a wonderful post, but nobody saw it because they killed it in the infinity. So what I would encourage you to do, let me open this back up a little bit so I can see. Donna, does that make sense? Is if you would have made this just a picture and then said, you know, for the tips, check the comments below for the link, then you could have made the first comment the link and then they could have clicked on it there. Okay. So, but otherwise that's a great post. So showing a little bit about what she thinks is cool, showing who she is, right? So it's sprinkling her in there. Funny fitness things. So I will say, let's see. So we've gone how many posts? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 9, 10, 12. Okay, so I'm going to stop there. So I have so far kind of 14 posts, and I don't see a hook post. There's no inviting, and I don't see a workout selfie, which I know, is that it right there? Post workout selfie. So sharing with people, like you have a lot of really great stuff, but it doesn't really look like you're open for business or like you are a coach. So it would be hard if I were just coming to your page to know what you're really doing. Does that make sense? So making sure that within, like, go back and look at your last 10 posts. Obviously, you girls who are brand new, you're not going to have, you know, that many posts to go back and look to have this structure. But go back and look, and if in the last 10 posts you don't have at least 1 or 2 hook posts where you're inviting either to the challenge group or to the coaching opportunity, then you probably need to change something and start adding those in more frequently. The other thing is, if you're like you had that good meal prep one, which is awesome, but I would also encourage to see more of like post-workout selfie, your progression, your story, maybe what you struggled with over the holiday weekend. Like, did you fall off track at all? How are you feeling? And I know it's scary to make videos, but making a video, like a fitness video, literally, you guys, there's times that I just set up our camera while we're working out and I edit it. Like, that's so easy to do. So it's hard to ask people to join us to do something when, well, we have to ask for one, but for two, if we're not showing that we're doing it ourselves consistently. Okay? Does that make sense? So hopefully that helps a little bit, Donna. I think you have really great content. I would just start sprinkling more hook posts in, and maybe start asking more questions. Start getting that engagement out of people by asking questions. Okay. So Margaret, my peanut butter. I can't see her face right now, but I'm sure you're smiling. Okay, so again, beautiful selfie, beautiful picture of her family. She has a good intro, mom, RN, health and fitness coach, or health and wellness coach, and a firm believer that anything is possible after a cup of coffee. So just a little bit about her and what you're gonna get when you come to her page. Again, her featured photos are who she is. It's her family, it's her inspiration, because I know that she's really big on sharing inspiration daily as well. So you're getting a little piece of her in her featured photos. So that's her album of her adorable little nuggets, landed in Tanner. So here's like her morning inspiration. So 11 hours, 6 hours. Just looking at, I'm saying hours because I'm just looking at like how often she is posting to be consistent. So this is awesome that somebody's sharing something to her timeline. That means people are engaging with her and are thinking of her when they're looking at things on Facebook, which is really awesome. If you didn't already know this, you can actually change your settings up here so that you have to approve the things that go on your timeline. That is something that I have done because I don't want everything on my timeline. And it'll give you notification of that. So that's something that you can do as well. That, not that that's a bad post, but just so that you know that for future reference. So here she is in some new workout gear, just posting something that's inspirational. Oh, something for the kids. So a little toy, little hideout for the kids, which is a little bit of her. Where did you post that from? Did you create a business page too? I'm confused. Where are you at?
No, I just reshared it like from, I think earlier in the day I had posted it. So I just like shared it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So I was just confused. So like
okay.
Nobody saw that, like one person.
Right.
Okay. I would say, because I knew you had a hook post because I saw it yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay, so I love this post. Where's your favorite place? Okay, so asking a question. So I would post the question first so that people see that, get that engagement and get their attention right away, and then say, who else loves bright colors? I do, and then I've enjoyed looking for the most bright and obnoxious workout clothes, but you know, it's a great post. But get their engagement because people want to give their opinion. Like, people want to talk and share what's important to them and what they like. So I would have posted that in the first sentence there, and I think you might have gotten more engagement. This, again, is shared from Instagram. So I would just encourage, as you're typing that out, just copy it before you actually post it on Instagram, and then you can come right over to Facebook and paste it and put the same picture, and it takes like 2 more seconds than it would have. And that would clean up having so many tags on it as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
I usually do. I must have forgot.
Yeah. No, that's all right. I mean, it's just something to give you a heads up.
Sure.
And the tags, like, I encourage, Facebook does use hashtag, you guys, not like Instagram does, but Facebook does have hashtags, and people can actually find you and search through hashtags. So I encourage using them, but only like 3 or 4 of them. I'm going to mute you again, girl.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, that's all right. I hear the babies. So maybe using 3 or 4, and definitely use, like, I always use hashtag living healthy and fit. Think of a brand, think of who you are, and start using one hashtag to describe who you are all the time. So that way, when somebody searches that or they click on that hashtag, they're going to find you and find your brand. Okay. So that's a good inspirational quote. Something silly that somebody shared. Where'd your hook post go? I know that it's down here. Oh, my whole thing just, oh, there it is. Okay. So then here she has a hook post. So I think that was like 8 or 10 down. So this kind of gives you an idea. She said, stop your school for summer boot camp info. So that's a hook post. The incentives being offered through today. So that's a good post for her to share about, and letting people know that she's inviting more people to come with her. She's not just doing this on her own and just sharing it to be inspirational. She's actually putting out there that she is open for business and that she is inviting people to join in with her. And when people are following her and are inspired by her, they'll say, oh, well, I kind of want to know what she's doing, or I'm kind of curious about what she's been working on lately. I want to ask about this challenge group. Or if they like it, then she can reach out to them. She'll know who's watching posts like that. So I think overall, you're doing a great job. I mean, really, you've built up really great consistency in a short amount of time. I would maybe encourage, because it looks like a few people are starting to share stuff on your wall. I would maybe encourage you to change your settings so that you have control over that, and you have to approve them before they actually go. It'll still show that you're tagged in it. It just won't actually go on your wall there. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. You guys will see, like, real quick, I didn't point this out on Donna's, but Donna does a great job too, is they're posting every couple of hours. Like, Marguerite's probably getting ready to post here in a little bit, probably as soon as we get off the call or something like that, which is what we all pretty much do. But they're posting every few hours so that they're getting different attractions from different people, okay? And again, don't let that overwhelm you. If you haven't been a person who posts on social media all the time, start out with one post per day. Start out in the evening when prime time for Facebook is between 7 and 9 to 9:30, when people are done with work, they're done with dinner, and they're actually sitting down on the couch to relax for the day, okay? Start there and then start increasing it as you go along. There are also social media platforms. There are third-party platforms that you can use. I personally use Buffer. It's buffer.com. That is a paid service. It's, I think, $10 a month. I pay for it by the year because it's cheaper. It saves you like 20 bucks. I pay, it's $102 for the year. But I'll show you really quick, like my morning post, because even though I'm awake, I don't want to have to worry about jumping on social media as soon as I wake up in the morning and get on. So, or, you know, roll out of bed. So every morning you'll see it says Buffer. My inspirational quote every single morning is programmed through a third-party tool that I can set the time and the picture and what it says, and it just automatically does it for me at whatever time, okay? So there are a couple different ones. Buffer is one. Hootsuite.com is one. Hootsuite is great and is free up to a certain amount of groups, so you might want to check out Hootsuite. And then Social Pilot. I know that, I don't know a lot about Social Pilot. I know that Donna was using it for a little bit, but that is also an option. But it basically just gives you an opportunity to create a post and schedule it without having to actually be live on your social media. Okay, and then Karina, we're gonna go to your page. All right, so she has a great profile picture, smiling, you're connecting to her, not somebody else. Her background photo is awesome. It's unfortunately a little bit grainy, but it's a great picture. This is when we were at the Tony Robbins event and we all walked on fire, which was an awesome, awesome experience. So that's good there. I am working hard on my own health and fitness and love to help others reach their goals. So maybe Karina, I mean, that's good, but I think that you could probably do better in the sense that kind of like myself and the other girls, just kind of list who they are, almost like you do on your Instagram, what they're going to get when they come to your page and a little bit about you. Because this almost love to help others reach their goals, which is genuine and you really do, but can almost come across as kind of pitchy and almost kind of put that wall up like, oh, she's going to try and pitch me on a sale. So that would be something that I would just encourage you to maybe look over and share some other things about yourself there, kind of like you do on your Instagram. These photos, I don't know. I can't see her, so let me open this up. Do you? Oh no. It won't let me open it. Oh, here we go. Okay, so I can barely see you because you're sitting in the dark. Are these your featured photos, or are these just your last set of photos that you've shared?
They're just my last set of photos I shared. I've never done the featured photos. I didn't even realize that was an option we could do.
Yep, that's something that's newer on Facebook. So I would encourage you, that's super easy to do. You select, like, I think you can select up to 5 featured photos and revamp that a little bit and just put like good quality pictures that represent what you're sharing on your page. Okay. All right, cool. So Karina is currently doing the Ultimate Reset, which is freaking amazing, and I give her tons of credit because I've always been a little scared, if I'm being perfectly honest, to dive into that. But she's doing an amazing job, and she's been using her social media as a blog to share with people how she's feeling through the process. Because for those of you who don't know, the Ultimate Reset is a very strict cleanse. It is resetting your body back to factory settings, basically. You don't eat any processed food. You go vegan for the last week or 2 weeks, Karina?
The first week you get to include a little bit of meat. Second week you are strictly grains and vegetables and fruit, no dairy, no meat, and the last week is all fruits and vegetables.
Yeah. So you're slowly cutting the processed foods out and going back to live foods and working yourself backwards to do a full detox, which is really awesome. So she's on day 13 right now?
14 today.
14? Woo! You only got a week left.
7 more days.
Yeah, girl. Okay, so she's sharing her recipe, and that's something I think that you should do more of because you're getting a lot of feedback on that. You've gotten a ton of engagement since you started this new journey and sharing that with people. And I think that that's great. Keep doing that. So that's one post for today. So I know that you are not allowed to have your phone at work. So something I would encourage you to do is to start using Buffer or your third-party tool again so that you can start getting more engagement every day. I've been
off a little bit.
Yeah. And that's okay. I mean, it's not here to judge. It's just sharing with you what is going to help you to increase engagement and people following. So another inspirational quote. That looks amazing. Okay, so right now it looks like, and Karina cannot work out right now because she's doing the reset, and you are strictly just doing nutrition at this point. So I don't know why my computer won't refresh. I love the inspirational quotes, and I love that you're sharing all these recipes from each day. I would maybe, because you're going through this totally new journey, maybe each night sit down and just kind of recap your day and how you felt throughout the day with the Ultimate Reset. Did you have more energy? Did you feel tired? Did you feel hungry? Like, how did you feel throughout the day? Post it on Buffer and have it go the next morning. Like maybe mid-morning on a time that you're not going to be able to post on social media. Or a really good time is like 11:55 because people are almost getting out to break for lunch, and a lot of people jump on social media, between 11:55 and noon. So that would be a really good time for you to put a post that's going to get some engagement and using it as a blog again to share with people how you're feeling throughout the journey. So I would definitely encourage you to do something like that. Hook posts, sharing your specific story, and then sharing I don't know why it's not loading anymore for me. Sharing the coaching opportunity as well as the challenge groups. So in order to do that, we definitely have to have a challenge group in place. The coaching opportunity, just sharing how this has helped you to feel and get to where you are today. Maybe even going back and recapping your Tony Robbins event and how you felt there. All of those things are just parts of sharing your story. But while you're sharing some really great information, if you don't share the challenge group or inviting somebody to do the Ultimate Reset, or that you can help them through the Ultimate Reset like you're doing, you just look like inspiration. Does that make sense? So somebody who's maybe wanting to try something like this, or has thought about trying to do something like this, or maybe needs something like this in their life, they're not going to necessarily know that you're there to help them do it too.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So, you know, even if like in one of your recap posts, like if you start doing that at night, which I think would be awesome, and have it post the next morning, like late morning, and just say, hey, like this is how I felt for the day. Just give a rundown of how your day went, and, you know, if you felt hungry, all those things, and then just say, you know, invite somebody to do it with you. Or if this is something that you have thought about doing, I strongly encourage you to do it because XYZ. You know, this is what it has done for me so far. This is how I'm feeling. And I would be more than excited to help you on this journey and show you exactly how I did it and share my recipes and things like that, and invite them to do it with you, or that you can be there as their mentor to go through something like this, because it's very strict and it's kind of scary. So, you know, putting it out there that you're there to help people to do that. So really that, I mean, that's all I would recommend. You know, trying to increase your consistency with posts, but I definitely, if you start doing the recap, that's going to give you one more post per day. So you're going to have 3 posts. You're going to have your morning buffer rollout, then you're going to have your recap from the previous day around noon, and then at night you're going to have your recipe posts that you've been sharing with your dinner each night. So, I mean, that's a really good basis to start really creating some good consistency on your page. Does that make sense? Yeah? Do any of you have any questions? Did I lose you? Maybe a little bit? Christy's smiling like, yeah, but I'm not going to tell you. It's something, it takes some learning, and social media is constantly changing. So what worked last week, what worked a month ago, it's not always the same. That's why it's so important to pay attention to, you know, what people are engaging in and what works well for you. Okay? And just be open to changing things up a little bit. So no questions at all? You guys got to have at least one question. Come on. Don't be shy. No?
I don't have a question, but dudes, you guys need to try that pinto beans and rice.
The pinto beans and rice? Is that what you said? You're broken up. You're frozen. Where'd you go?
Yes, there I am.
Okay, there you are.
That pinto beans and rice recipe is the bomb.
Is it?
Yeah, but make sure it doesn't call for lemon juice, but put lemon juice on it.
I'll have to look at it.
If you like Chipotle, do it.
Awesome. I'll have to look at that, and I'll be perfectly honest. You've totally inspired my husband and I to do the reset. It will likely be, we're getting ready to, well, we have a few more weeks left in Beast, then we're going to do the 3-day refresh, and then we're going to jump back into Dinner and Chisel for 6 days, so it'll have to be after that. But you totally inspired us.
It will be much easier with both of you doing it. I'll tell you that right now. It's very hard when it's just you.
I am sure that it's very hard, just you. But yeah. My husband is kind of related to yours, so
yeah.
I know how hard he's gonna be. He's gonna be so hangry that I'm gonna want to just punch him in the face and tell him to go eat a piece of pizza.
I can tell you that I've never been, I mean, I get a little bit hungry between meals, but I'm not starving. I've not been hungry at all through it. It's more of the habit of wanting what everyone else is eating.
Yeah.
That's the hard part. Yeah. I mean, the food is delicious, you know, but you see somebody with a big old slice of pizza and the drool starts dripping, you know, you're like, okay, yeah. So that part has been hard because it's just me. So, you know, but
yeah.
Hey, I walked on frickin' fire. I can do this for.
That's what I said, girl. You freaking walked on fire. This is going to be easy peasy shit.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I'm super proud of you, and it's been awesome to watch your journey. I can't wait to see the last week unfold for you and how it goes and how you're feeling after that.
Thanks.
Yeah. All right, my loves, if you don't have any questions, I can't believe you, then the only action item that I have for you is to look over your last 10 posts like we just did if we didn't go over your account, and look, are you posting about the same thing all the time, or are you giving a little bit of variety so that you are engaging with different people and you're sharing interests about you and about your health and fitness business so that you're creating a good balance on your page when people come to your page to look at it, okay? All right. You girls have a wonderful evening. I am so proud of each and every one of you. I'm so glad that you are all here and you took the time to be on our call. I love you all. Have a great night, and I'll see you later. Bye.